Okay, so this is part 4 of a tutorial where I think that now that we have something like a level where we can fly around and we have a spaceship that can shoot stuff, and then the spaceship itself has something like physics, so it can sort of hit stuff that also has physics simulations, but also so you can't sort of like go through the walls. It has a collision around it, so you can't just sort of like, so you're like stuck in the level, and there's also collision on this sort of like glass ceiling. So and then you can something like shoot these things, and there's physics on the bullets, and there's physics detection on these cubes, these boxes here, so that when they've been hit 32 times by 32 bullets, they sort of like despawn. But the last thing that I've added is these sort of like pick up coins, and when you fly through them, they play a sound. And the question is, how then did this get done? And it's actually quite simple. So the first thing I did was I imported these boxes into the engine. And we can just create here an import. Let's call it import, etc. So I just created a folder, and then after having saved stuff in what do you call it, in from Blender, FLAX demos, sci-fi, let's see, right, we have the coins here. Then I just basically, this is the texture that I created in Blender, and there is the FBX, and I just basically took those two and I just sort of like moved them into FLAX Engine, selected them and moved, and then you get this import, and then I just sort of like clicked import and imported them. And that's sort of like how I got this here into the engine, and also so now that this texture is in the engine, right? And then to some like get started, I turned into a prefab. So I basically moved the coin into the scene, and then I created a material that has the something like texture connected to it, and just added that to the coin, and now there is something like a coin in the video game. And you can see that it's here as like spinning coin, and then I right click like in the previous tutorials and created a prefab, and that prefab is here. So I'm not going to do that again, but I created a prefab that way, and now we have the prefab here. And the prefab, after creating that, I went here and added the way that if you want to add something to a prefab, you can sort of like do it, and then you can just hit save, and then it's in the prefab, and you can delete it and edit it. So after that, there's something here called an audio source, that I just sort of added an audio source to the prefab. Oh. And then to get like I downloaded a sound effect of something like just a MP3 or like a WAV or WAV file of how to like play a coin pickup sound. So that's sort of like this file here, and I also just move that into this folder, and you can like play, you can sort of like hear what it sounds like here, and then how to like make the sort of like this the coins play a sound and disappear when you like fly into them, and how to like make this sort of like happen. And you can notice that that over here these are the coins that are placed in the level, and you can see that they're green, so that they're prefabs. And notice that they disappear when you like fly into them, so they are sort of like despawn and take less resources, and in a sense disappear from the game. Notice that that they sort of like slowly disappear from the level, also in sort of like in the scene tree inspector over here. So what kind of like script is necessary to do this? And it's sort of like this is perhaps the most simple script that you can like create to do that. First of all, up here I basically just make sure that the coins are spinning. So so this let's see, we had a comment. here. Here. And let's just change the color here. We call it coin spinning logic. And all I did to like make this work was get rotate, search for rotate or rotate, because rotation, and so just search for rotate. And then under actor there's something called get rotation, set rotation, and just rotate around. And this box here works. So I just sort of like use that, right? And then like in the last in the last tutorial, I want to make sure that that in a sense the correct thing is spinning. So what I do is I start by finding the script. This script, like where is the script running, and then what is that connected to? Because whenever a script is in the scene, for instance, you can't just take a script and move it into the scene, but you can create an object and then attach the script to that. So for instance, if we start by creating a cube, then notice we can add a script here. So before something, basically you can add a script, and when we add it, the script starts running. So whenever you have a script, at least like it's usually connected to something like that cube. So you go into the Visual Script Editor, and then you type self, and then under tools there's something called this instance, and that's sort of like the script that's running somewhere in the world. Somewhere this script has been attached to something, and it's running somewhere in the world attached to something. And to find that something that it's attached to, we can just sort of like move this out and then search for actor. Get actor, get the actor that's connected to or working with the script. And that's sort of like what I did here, and except that it's all like been turned around a little bit. But get instance, and then it's connected to get actor, this instance, get actor. And then from there we want to get the position, because we need to add the position. This is the point that it's supposed to be like spinning around. So just then we search for position, and notice under actor there's something called get position, and then just connect it here, and then I can connect that to let's see, here to this point, which is basically the same as what these three boxes do, right? So that's like how you connect that. And then after that, in this axis, because you can see here that the y-axis or the green axis is sort of like the spinning axis, so that's sort of like the middle number. This is the first, the second, and the third number for rotation, so it's the second number. So you just sort of like go in here and let's see, as it crashed or here now, here, and then you just sort of like type 0, 1, 0, so it spins around this here angle, and then the speed that it sort of like spins is something like this number here. So for instance, if we set this to 10, they're gonna spin really fast. So let's just sort of like press play and like see. Now you can see now they're spinning really fast, and this doesn't really have any influence. But that's sort of like how you start these sort of like objects spinning, and then you sort of like just type in the spinning speed here. That's sort of like what's called the angle. So that's sort of like the first step of like this code. And then here is sort of so let's see if I can explain this just a little bit faster. The first box here gets the distance between two vectors, and what it gets the position, so like the distance between is first of all the character, or basically ourselves in the video game world. So we get the actor reference here for, in a sense, the player, or this is in what we control in the video game, or the spaceship. And then you sort of like you want to get the position of that. and you just find that here, and then you connect that here. So now you have the not get positions. We need to find actor, get position, and then we can like, so now we have the position of the spaceship or ourselves. And then like before, we start by searching for let's see, self, and then we move this out, and we have the script now, and now the script is connected let's see, to an actor, and again we just sort of like can copy Control D, and now we get the position. So now we have the position of the spinning coin, and the position of ourselves. So now we get the distance here between those two, and if that distance is less than some number, and in this case 80 centimeters or something like that, 80 units in the video game, then if that is true, you can see that box here says if, and then one more thing, I'll explain that later, but if the distance is less than or equal, you can see basically this here, this distance that we created here by adding a parameter. I explained that in the last video. If that's true, then the coin, as it were, disappears, is destroyed. But before that happens, it plays a sound also, right? So let's just see here. This might be let's see here. So we can like try and like see what's happening here. So the first thing that happens is we want we want to destroy the coin here, right? But if we do that, then we also destroy the audio player, right? We destroy the coin here, the audio player also disappears from the video game, and it can't play the sound. So the way that let's see here, the way that I've done it in the script is that at the end of this, if the distance, or as it were, we touch or get too close to the coin, it disappears, or we pick up the coin. If we get within like a certain distance, then here at the end, it's destroyed, and we just get the self, and then the actor, and then the object, and after 2 seconds, it's destroyed. So I destroy it when I get too close to it, but there's a delay of 2 seconds included here in the destroying the time left field, so that we have time to play the audio before it disappears. So now the question is, when we fly around here, if there's a delay, why does the coin disappear immediately when we touch it? And try and notice that after I touch the coins, it doesn't disappear from the list of like green. It's sort of like there's a delay, and then it disappears from the video game. So like, how do you make the coin disappear, and then sort of like it disappears a little bit later in you can like see that the green letters are sort of like disappearing a little bit more slower, like 2 seconds after. And the way that I do it is I set the scale to 0. So we have a coin here, and if we pick it, you'll notice that we can set the scale, for instance, to 0.4, 0.2, and in a sense, it's sort of like you're gonna see here. You can scale the coin. So what happens if we set the scale to like 0 on one axis? Then the points are still sort of like on like you can say one side, and you can say look like this. But what happens if we scale it 0 on 2 sides, and it basically disappears, the coin. You can't see it anymore. It's like it's gone from the video game. So scaling stuff to 0 is a way of making them disappear from something like visually, but that's still technically there. So we can make it disappear without, in a sense, destroying the entire object and also the audio player. And then after that, let's see here. Now it's crashing. I don't know why. It's like running slow, at least recording or something. So after that, what I want to do is right now if I click this instance get actor and sort of like I'm gonna get here in the let's see if we can like explain here. I'm gonna get the I'm gonna get this here. If I say this instance, I search for self, and then what is the actor, I'm gonna get this here, not the audio source, but I'm gonna get the spinning coin. So let's see. So to like work around that, I use the function called get child, and then basically it's so you see here actor. There's some different ones here, but there is notice that there is one here called get the child actor at the given index. I don't know what the index is, and get the child of the given type, and I don't know what the type is, but get the child with the given name, so I can find a child of the spinning coin here that's called audio source. So if I search for get child that has this something like name, and then type in audio source, it gets this source instead, and then I can connect that to play, which basically is a box that plays a sound. So you just search for play, and then notice that here's about audio source and play. So that's sort of like, it takes an instance. So basically I first find the script that's running, and then the object, or the in a sense the spinning coin that it's attached to, and then I get the child of this here that's called the audio source, or in a sense the stuff that's connected to the spinning coin, the audio source in this case. And then once I have that, I'm gonna get this, and then it's sort of like gonna when I do this, it's gonna create this sort of like as audio source, and sort of like try and like convert it in the engine, and it just creates this box automatically when you connect here. And then that's sort of like how, when we get in a certain distance of the coin, first it scales it to 0 so that it disappears visually from the screen, and then it finds the audio source that I have connected to the prefab and plays the sound that I have stored in that. And when you click the audio source, you can basically see that if you like remove this, I just took the spinning coin sound that I downloaded, and then I add that here, and I changed the pitch so it like is a bit deeper, and this here is normally 1, but I just make it something like a bit deeper, so it like fits the video game that I'm working on. So that's sort of like how you code this. Alright, but there was an error, and that was that when I was standing inside this area where I pick up the coins, and like when the distance is like less than 80 units, or I think it's centimeters, 80 centimeters in the video game, it kept playing the sound. So it's like ding, 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 so it like kept looping the sound until I left that area, right? For some reason it kept playing. So I added something where it basically, and this is the stuff that's a bit difficult to like, I'm not going to explain it here, but some extra code where it's something like it only plays the audio sound once. And basically there is a boolean or a true false value that when you start the video game is false, but once I have played the sound, it sets it to true. So if I have activated this audio player once, it sets this to true, and then the condition here is that then it can't play it again. So it can only play the audio source if there's something like boolean that checks if that's false. So if it hasn't played before, then it can play. But the second that it plays, it sets that this boolean value that I've created here, play once bool, to true, so that the engine knows it has already played it once, and then the next time it tries to like play that, it won't be able to because it should be false, but it's been set to true, so it can only play it once. It's sort of like rather simple, but it's just sort of like a way of making sure that it only plays the sound once, and then it's sort of like because the sound isn't more than 2 seconds, then after 2 seconds the delay at the end of the script here is then it sort of like disappears, because you can hear that the audio here doesn't take more than 2 seconds. So that's sort of like how that works, and how you add something like simple spinning coins to a video game that you can pick up. So that's sort of like how you can create something like this, and to something like create something like a simple spaceship shooter with like bullets and pickups, and something like crates with a health system and so on, and all this stuff. So that's that. Yeah. Thank you. Bye.